Today I thought I'd show you how I set about making an order of service for my daughter's wedding. And the chosen colour was very pale pink, and this is A4 sheet of double-sided pearlescent paper, 300 grams per square metre, and I have cut it to 15.5 centimetres wide, or 6 inches, which is what the largest size you can get away with to go through a standard size die cutting machine, such as a Big Shot. What I then did was I scored it at the halfway point on the A4 sheet at 14.8 centimetres. I didn't fold it at that point, and I then cut out my chosen design, and I've kept this one quite simple. It's a rather pretty unbranded heart die with flower, and it cuts into the paper, so it makes life very simple, and it does cut beautifully. And the great thing about the flower is that the flower petals press out, so later on I'm going to be pressing those petals out and adding an embellishment in the middle. But this is the cover for the order of service. So the next thing I need to do, obviously, is to score the card in the middle, and to do that I just use my ruler, which I seem to have lost. Found it. Just take your ruler just to guide along that score line and fold it. And you can use your bone scraper just to get a clean edge. And there's a cover all ready for you to put your order of service in. Now, if, like me, you were a novice at doing this, creating the order of service itself was an interesting proposition. And to do that, I did actually get it printed, but I did all the design on and wording on my computer, and I will give you a tutorial on how to set up your design, whatever it is that you want printed, because it is quite a different world, and I've learned quite a lot. So this comes as a 14.8 booklet, and that was a standard size on the printing firm that I used. And whilst you can always have any size printed, it costs. So try and stay within the sizes that they have a choice. And 14.8 square was one of the choices, which was perfect. So it comes as a multi-page booklet that is stapled in the middle. And as always with booklets, the staple has the outer edge on the outside, and that's what you want to achieve on your cover as well. Now, it sounds all very simple, but when you come to a standard stapler, they actually print widthways, staple widthways. So if I can open this one, as you can see, this, if I put it into its standard position, comes out and it staples down across the page, which means that when you want to twist your order of service, you can't reach the middle. Now, this stapler, which I bought on Amazon quite cheaply, is brilliant because it has a swing away head, which means that it can go either diagonally or horizontally, or in this case, when it's out at 90 degrees, it's going to staple vertically. So that solves my problem immediately. So I'm just going to put the stapler on my board, and it helps to, when you're stapling, to have the stapler not moving about. So I just use a little bit of low-tack tape just to stick it onto my cutting board temporarily. The other issue that you have when you're putting your booklet in is stopping it sliding about, because you've got to turn it over. And if you just leave it loose, the chances are it'll end up not straight. So to counteract that, all I do is I take some soft pegs and make sure they are soft grip, because this pearlescent paper marks if you're not careful. And just clip the edges, do one side. And then if you press it against the side, you can make sure that it is straight, and do the other. And then you can just pop it into your stapler. I've marked a little line with a permanent marker so I can see the middle. and then take your stapler down and just check. If you want to make sure that I've got a little notch on my stapler that I can line up to try and get it as close to the middle as possible. But if you're going to err on the side of caution, make sure it goes on the back cover rather than the front. And there you have your nicely stapled booklet. Take your pegs off. All in place and ready to go. The other hint that I have is that if you are using, as I have, a die that cuts out into the page, then make sure you don't have writing underneath, which is why I've got this sheet with just the name of the church at the bottom, but the rest is quite plain, and I've avoided the lines at the top. All that remains to do with your order of service is to stick a pearl in the middle of your flower, and to do that I've just got some very nice pearl embellishments here, 1 centimetre wide, semicircles. I'm just flicking one up on my pokey tool and just slotting it in place in the middle of the flower. All you have to do then is just poke out the petals to the level that you want, give a bit of dimension, and your order of service is complete. All you have to do is put it away and wait for the big day.